Amber Heard to be cut from Aquaman 2 after Johnny Depp trial loss. Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers. Amber Heard denied that Aquaman had dropped her from her role as Mera. The rumor began when Just Jared reported that the 36-year-old had been dropped from her $2 million roles in the DC flick. Heard had recently lost her battle with Johnny Depp, with her op-ed at the Washington Post considered defamatory. Heard had finished filming her part for the sequel to the movie, but according to Just Jared, Warner Bros. Screen tested the movie and decided that they were going to hire another actress to replace her role. Warner Bros. Decided to recast Amber Heard's role after screen testing the movie, Just Jared reported from a source. They are going to be doing reshouts with her former co-stars Jason Momoa and Nicole Kidman. Heard's spokesperson immediately denied it. The rumor mill continues as it has from day one: inaccurate, insensitive, and slightly insane. Warner Bros. Executive Walter Hamada previously testified that it was common for actors to have a lack of natural chemistry, and Heard wasn't excluded from it. He attributed the post-production process that helped forge that chemistry in the movie. Editorially, they were able to make that relationship work in the movie. There was a concern it took a lot of effort to get there, said Hamada, who added that Warner Bros. Was also considering someone with better, more natural chemistry with Jason Momoa and move forward that way. Hamada added that the $2 million payment was never affected by anything Depp or his lawyer Adam Waldman said about the actress. He further added that the story was never about Mera, and that from the early stages of development of the script, the movie was building around the character of Arthur and Arm. The movie was always pitched as a buddy comedy between Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson, he continued. These rumors abounded after she spoke on Today's Show that she will stand by every word of her testimony until the day she dies. She continued labeling Depp as the liar and doubled down on the claims that he was the victim of domestic abuse in his hands. She told Savannah Guthrie that the verdict was unfair, a sentiment her lawyer Elaine Bredhoff shared. Heard snapped back when she was asked about performing on the stand during the trial and lying about the abuse. She told Guthrie, says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers, "I'm the performer. I had listened to weeks of testimony insinuating, or saying quite directly, that I'm a terrible actress. So I'm a bit confused how I could be both." Heard said Depp lied about never hitting her and added, "To my dying day, I will stand by every word of my testimony." She also branded Camille Vasquez, the new rising star lawyer, and Benjamin Chew for their attempt to distract the jury from the real issues. Heard also questioned how her First Amendment right to free speech had been impeded when she tried to speak her truth. Guthrie shot another question related to the audio clips played on the court, and Heard claimed, "I never had to instigate it. I responded to it. When you're living in violence, and it becomes normal as I testified to, you have to adapt. I know much has been made of these audio tapes," she added. They were first leaked online after being edited. What you would hear in these clips was not evidence of what was happening. It was evidence of a negotiation, of how to talk about that with your abuser. As I testified on the stand about it. When your life is at risk, not only will you take the blame for things that you shouldn't take the blame for, but when you are in an abusive dynamic psychologically, emotionally, and physically, you don't have the resources or the luxury of saying, "Hey, this is black and white," because it is anything but when you are living in it, she continued. Then she called those who witnessed for Depp paid employees and randos who were just supporting the person they depend on. However, she admitted, "I did do and say horrible, regrettable things throughout my relationship. I behaved in horrible, almost unrecognizable to myself ways. I have so much regret. I freely and hopefully and voluntarily talked about what I did. I talked about the horrible language. I talked about being pushed to the extent where I didn't even know the difference between right and wrong. I will always continue to feel like I was a part of this, like I was the other half of this relationship because I was." Yet, Heard still gushed over their marriage. It was ugly and could be very beautiful. It was very, very toxic. We made a lot of mistakes, but I've always told the truth. One would definitely remember how social media was constantly filled with the newest turn of events from the court during the 6-week trial. A number of pictures, audio, clips, and journal entries were submitted as evidence. It was heavily in favor of Depp. She found the social media unfair, but also said, "I don't care what anyone thinks about me or what judgments you want to make about what happened in the privacy of my own home and my marriage behind closed doors. I don't presume the average person should know those things, so I don't take it personally." Redhuft said that Heard planned to appeal the verdict, but with her doubling down on the defamatory statement, things might not evolve in the direction she wishes it to. She is currently ordered to pay Depp a total of $8.35 million, and added to that was the $7 million she pledged to a CLU and the Children's Hospital.